I watched Iniesta play football for 100 hours, and here's what I learned about his 1v1 abilities. To me, Andres Iniesta is the complete midfielder. He is versatile, able to play in all positions across the midfield, as well as working ceaselessly for his team. On top of all this, his dribbling, vision, and passing game is at a level not many players can match. However, what stood out for me when watching Iniesta was not the incredible ways he dissected a defensive barricade with a singular pass, nor the extreme vision to always know where the space is, but something central midfielders barely demonstrate in today's game, and that is a proficiency in 1v1 skills.
But not just any 1v1 skills. We're talking lateral movement specific 1v1 skills. Let me explain.
Lateral movement 1v1 skills are usually performed by hitting the ball from one side and then quickly alternating its path to the opposite side. This shifts the opposing player's body by baiting the ball to one side, putting them off balance, and leaving open space on the other side for ball carriers to exploit. Lateral movements are quick, simple moves that can be very effective if the execution of the given skill is timed well.
But you're probably thinking, isn't that what all 1v1 skills are? Well, let's take a look at a common move, the step over.
The step over isn't a lateral ball movement because it's more so reliant on a body feint to shift the opponent. Additionally, step overs are not common for central midfielders as they require more space for the ball carrier to undertake the skill, and that space is not commonly found within central positions. However, it's not just Iniesta who has mastered these lateral movements. Players like Kevin De Bruyne have tremendous abilities to get out of difficult situations using this type of skill. Lateral movement skills are also useful when getting out of tight space scenarios, particularly when an opposing player lunges in for the ball. Iniesta was always good at shifting the ball laterally away from a desperate tackle, where he mainly used the la croqueta to evade the tackle and go out the other way.
But the standout benefit to having proficiency in the lateral 1v1 skills is the unpredictability.
Defensively speaking, opponents usually predict that when a midfielder receives the ball, they are bound to pass it moments later, making it convenient to mark players in general. However, when Iniesta has the ball, he is unpredictable. As mentioned before, he could make a pass that discombobulates a whole entire defense, or cause havoc for the opposing team by taking on his marker and unlocking new spaces not just for himself, but his teammates as well, by drawing in other oppositional players who become markers against Iniesta.
So with all this in mind, we're going to head outside now, and I'm just going to show you 3 common 1v1 lateral movement skills. There are definitely many other lateral movement skills out there, but I'm just going to show you 3 just for the sake of this video, and they will definitely benefit your gameplay as well if you're able to implement them into your game. So we'll head on outside now. Let's go. The most important thing to remember about these skills is progression. So the first skill that we are going to jump into is the croqueta, or the Iniesta I like to call it. And to progress this skill to the croqueta, it's really good to build some foundation. So the inside taps is just something that you could do. Then you could build it up to just standing still and doing the croqueta. So you just... So after practicing the skill in a small, tight-spaced area, you can move on to the dynamic version of the skill, and this will make it a little bit more game realistic. So this is just an example of how I set it up, and I'll just show you how to do it. So the second midfielder 1v1 skill that we have in this video is called the inside-outside, or it could even be called the drop the shoulder technique. So all it is you're just practicing touching your foot with the ball with the inside of your foot and the outside of your foot. So it's going inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. Now this skill is really good for bringing the player thinking that you're going to the right. So you're shifting the play to go to his left, and then because his center of gravity is pushed out that way, if you can do it really quickly, there's going to be an opening there. So if you do it really quickly, you're going to be able to get past him. So it's a really good lateral movement to use, very basic as well. So it's just a simple outside, inside. You can also do the inside outside, so it's the reverse. So you go inside and then outside. And this will just build up your drop the shoulder technique as well. So you don't even have to do the inside or the outside if you get really good at it. Messi's really good at this as well. Just dropping the shoulder and looking out to go the other way. And I'll just show you how to do it as well. To build confidence, you can do the cone weaving. So you go inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. But the problem with this is that it's more linear. It's very linear. You're going into the opponent. We don't want that. So what I would do is I would change it up by putting 2 cones like this, and then working from there. So I'd be obviously going go on my outside movement, coming in inside, dropping it in here, switching to my left, obviously, going with the outside, and then coming in with my left. Or you can change it up and you can practice going, you can go outside, and then inside, and you can come in here, and then you can switch onto your left and then practice going inside to outside. Just something to think about in terms of changing up your dynamic movements when it comes to practicing. So that's your second skill, the inside outsides. Now we'll move on to the third skill. Now the final 1v1 midfielder skill in this video is called the V pullback. And again, this is another foundational skill. It's very, very easy to learn. All you have to do is just be able to know how to pull the ball back and then push it out the other way in a different direction. So when this skill is used for is when you might have to stop and start in some moments when you're a midfielder, and you might have some pressure coming on from a particular side. Being able to pull the ball back, it's not even a particular side, it's mainly when people are coming straight in front of you. Being able to pull the ball back, they're coming out to try and attack you, but then you've pushed it the other way. There you draw a free kick mainly as well if they are unsuccessful, but it's really, really good in getting out of getting out of a different direction straight away. Another thing as well is when you receive the ball, you might take the touch in a direction where you don't want to, and then you realize that you've stuffed up. So you might want to be able to pull back so you can change out in a different direction. So again, it's a very, very common skill that Iniesta uses. So you could just practice this standing still, try and get a proper pullback where the ball goes across your body, and then you're able to pull out in a different direction. So just going fully out. You could also, you don't have to do, there's also the single-legged V pullback, yeah? But there's also the double-legged pullback as well. So where you go like this, you have your left leg, and then you pull out like that. Yeah, so you can pull out with your right, or vice versa with your right to your left. So those are just some common midfielder skills that you need to know, and I'll meet you back inside. So that's it for today's video. Comment down below if you use any other lateral movement skills that I didn't cover in this video. I'm very interested to see what other people are using, or if you have any questions about anything, whether it's about lateral movement skills or just anything in general when it comes to soccer, let me down below and I'll try and answer them as soon as possible. And I just want to say thank you again for sticking by, and I'll see you guys in the next vid. Thanks for watching.